It's Evangeline right here at etrailer. Today we have the Inno Gear Case 720. Now, this is going to be a slightly different roof-mounted cargo carrier where you still have that cargo capacity you would expect from an 11.5 cubic foot box, but you have a bunch of different extra features. And while this doesn't quite carry the taller or longer items that you would expect from a regular roof box, it has some things extra to help out with portability, making it easier to store, but also making this a small but mighty box. So if you're curious about all those different features, well, stick around right here at etrailer and we'll get to it. Now the box is fully put together once it arrives at your house. You're gonna have bumpers all along the box. That way if you need to store it inside your garage or your shed, it can be stored either sideways like this or up and down like this. You just need to make sure that if you have it in the down position, that the handle is facing out and not on the ground. Being able to prop this up against your wall or a shelf will make this a lot easier to store, especially if you're limited on space. Then this won't take up much and you can have it tucked in out of the way when not in use. The box weighs 33 pounds and you do have this handle to make it easier to carry around. Obviously, there's nothing inside the box, so even I am able to hoist it up to get it onto the roof. So if you need to install your box, do it just like this without the clamps. For taller vehicles, obviously it'll be a lot easier if you have two people supporting each end. With 33 pounds and with how maneuverable it is with that handle, it's not that bad. Even though this is an only single side access box, it is also reversible. So this can work with a lot of different crossbar styles, crossbar spreads, and just configurations on your roof. So you're gonna go on the side that has the handle, but if you need it over on the passenger or the driver's side, you just rotate the box around. Since it's symmetrical, no difference whatsoever in function. Now, for crossbar spread, this can work from 24 inches, which is minimum distance from crossbar to crossbar, all the way up to 35.5 inches. The distance apart for where your clamps go is going to be 22.5 inches away from each other. So double check your roof rack and or your tray or platform and make sure you have a spot that's 22.5 inches apart. The memory mount clamp has been around for a while with Inno's other products, and I've always liked it. It has a very easy to use system that provides a lot of tension. So you have two sides of your clamp, and then you have a knob that adjusts the tension. So once you've set it to your crossbars, all you need to do is bring this lever in and you are secure. When you need to remove your box, you just bring the lever out and then you can lift the clamp up and out of the way. That's why you can install your box without the clamps in the way. You just pop in and tighten everything down. The clamps are super simple and easy to use, but they also create a very secure fit on your crossbar, which just then adds to the security or the stability of the box to protect your cargo. The box is made of an ABS and AES plastic, which is the plastic that you will find usually on the trim pieces, like the spoiler of your vehicle. This is gonna make for a very lightweight while also sturdy box. Now this doesn't have the highest clearance, and you do have 11.5 cubic feet of space. It's pretty spacey on the inside, and that's because you have our squared off edges just to make it a bit more helpful for really fitting things into the corner. Our latches are on the outside, so you don't have any space taken up on the inside by those latches. And we have our exterior dimensions here on our site, but for interior dimensions, everyone tends to measure a little bit differently. So what I will measure from is for width. We're gonna go from inside to inside. I have it at 30.25 inches. For length, I like to measure from hinge to hinge because that's going to be our smallest measurement. And that's going to be about 65 3/4 inches. The next thing is going to be height. And that's going to be a little tricky because there are dips and valleys in this box. But it is going to be a little under 12 inches. So a good rule of thumb is most premium roof boxes only open up to the height of their cargo. So this is at around 12.5 inches, so it's pretty close. So if you have, let's say, a big suitcase, and if your suitcase does not fit inside that open lid, chances are very high your suitcase will not fit inside the box. You can also carry other things, not just your bags or your lawn chairs. You can also carry skis and snowboards. Now, technically, this can carry 6 to 8 skis. The box is on the shorter side, though. Like, I have 160 centimeter skis here, and I have a couple inches more of space, so you could probably carry up to 170s, but that really depends on where you put it in the box. You're gonna have these grooves in them, which aren't just there to help organize things, but if you have, let's say, skis and there's snow on them and they melt, then that will help contain the water and make it easier to clean. Now, when you do load up your box, you also want to make sure that you organize things so that if you want to use these straps, you can do so. Your clamps are going to have an integrated anchor point. I personally like to use the etrailer cam buckle strap just because this is going to be a little bit longer and works really well to keep things tight. I like that cam buckle, but I also like that you have a protector around the buckle so that if you have things that might get scratched up, this will prevent that. Once you have it loaded up, we then get to go back to what makes the gear case unique. So something that I've always struggled with taller roof boxes is that when I bring the lid down, I always have to apply more force and pressure throughout the box to make sure that it's actually latched in. With the case of the gear case though, we have 2 latches. So one towards the front and one towards the back. It's simply a matter of pushing those levers in. I don't have to reach around to make sure everything is secure, and it automatically latches even without the use of a key. This makes it a lot easier to maneuver. I'm not having to apply too much pressure standing from the ground. I only press a button and lift the latch. Having that secured is also great because as I try to lift up on the middle, I can't really get into the box, and that is also because the box has this very tall lip. So if you have water, debris, mud, dirt, and snow splashing up, this lid will help protect the contents of your box, and then everything just fits together nicely. The box does take up 34.5 inches of width on the top of your roof. So if you are planning on using this with other accessories or roof mounted cargo, you also have to take into account that that lid does take up space on the other side. So imagine if you had a bike up there, that might be something worth looking at. Another thing is that your lid does not have a string. I always like it when you have a little easy to pull strap. So while the hinges do stay in the upright position very nicely, you do kind of have to climb into your car in order to get access into your cargo, or to your cargo and to your box. With this being over 72 inches long, you also have to consider things like hatch clearance, and if you're able to open up your hatch without hitting the back of the box. This is still on the more compact, small side for boxes, and you do have a lot of adjustability with the tracks and the clamps underneath, so chances are really high that you're going to clear. You also have to consider weight capacity. Total capacity is 110 pounds. A sticker on the box explains how that's distributed though. Ideally, you'll want to distribute it with the heaviest things in the middle and the lighter things towards the end. Now, as you have things loaded up there, Another quick thing to mention is that you do get 2 keys with this box, and your 2 lock cores are key to like. So if you want to use the key, this prevents the latch from opening up. I recommend putting one on your keyring and the other one in your glove box. While you might think 12 inches of height for the box isn't quite enough for your taller objects, the bonus perk is that it then doesn't sit as high up above your roof. So if you have, let's say, a short garage, or you're concerned about going through drive-throughs with a lifted vehicle, this is going to help out with that. So always take your measurements before exiting your garage. I've always been very impressed by Inno products. Everything has been very intentionally designed, and their gear case is just another example of it. Now, there's 2 ways you can go with this. If the gear case does not have the specs that you need, maybe you're carrying something larger or longer, but you do like the price point as well as the ease of mounting, check out the Yakima Skybox 12. Very similar dimensional cubic feet capacity, but that one sits taller and is longer for those larger items. The other way you can go with this is if this might be a little too large for you, but you like its portability. Well, Inno has the quick base system that can also make it where you can put that same box on your hitch. Definitely worth looking into. It's Inno's modular system, similar look, but it's going to be smaller. So if you need something that's more portable, you have an option. If you need something that's larger, you have an option here at etrailer. But the Inno Gear Case is going to be a great option for that in-between where you just need something quick and easy to use, decent space to carry luggage, chairs, or skis for different occasions. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed this journey.